The River Hoopers beat the Douanes team in the second game of the day. This game ended 77-68. The River Hoopers coming out with the win. And let's just talk about this. So the attendance of this game was just at an all-time high, because 8,543 people in attendance. This was the highest I have seen in the longest time. And the Douanes team, even despite having home court advantage and despite even having all those people backing them, the River Hoopers did not care, and they just went ahead and just delivered a very good masterclass performance, and they beat the Douanes team to oblivion. As the River Hoopers, they shot 42% from the field, 62% on 2-point field goals. But both teams really struggled shooting from downtown, as the Douanes team only shot 20%, while the River Hoopers only shot 21%. So shooting from downtown was a big issue for games that I've seen in the BAL. The shooting from downtown is actually quite difficult for them. But shooting from the line, you could see the River Hoopers, they shot 64% to the Douanes 72%. So the Douanes team did not even go to the line as much, as they committed a lot of fouls to the River Hoopers team, and as a result, the Douanes team sent the River Hoopers team to the line more times. And in the rebounds, assists, and steals, the Douanes, of course, they went ahead and just dominated that stats with 48 rebounds, 19 assists, and 8 steals. But the River Hoopers were not far off in those other stats, because the River Hoopers, despite being unrebounded, they grabbed 43 rebounds, they had 17 assists and 7 steals. So they were just a few, they were just neck and neck. But you could see the River Hoopers, with their determination, they just went ahead and won this game. So Devin Eke, this guy was just sensational. He had a game-high 31 points, followed by Will Perry's 15 and John Wilkins' 14, leading the River Hoopers in scoring. So you could see Devin Eke, this guy was just on an absolute tear. And not only did he rack up 31 points, he also had 12 rebounds to go along with it. And he was sensational. And he also had 3 assists in the game. And you can see on the other side, the Douanes team, John Madut, he had 19 points. John Jackets Boise, 12 points. Fofana Santis, 14 points, leading the Douanes team in scoring, those 3 guys. Then in the rebounds, Christopher Obekpa, 14 boards, John Madut, 11. So you can see John Madut not only had 19 points, but also 11 boards to finish this game with a double-double of his own. John Jackie's Boise, he led the Douanes team in the assists, and he dished out the rock pretty well with 6 assists. Kevin Amayo from the River Hoopers, he was the guy that was doing most of the facilitation, as he finished the game with 8 assists. So he was just doing that playmaking in there that was essential for this ball game. And the River Hoopers, I must say, this game they did not start that strong, because you can see the Douanes, they started off guns blazing in the first quarter with 23 points. River Hoopers just following up close to it, 18. But in the second, you could see the River Hoopers did not relent, and they just kept scoring, and they had 19 points in the second with our Douanes 16. And in the third, that's where Douanes were led to a quarter low 9 points, where the games just tipped the scales at that, and the River Hoopers capitalized with that. And the game just shifted in the third, because when the Douanes team was held to 9 points in the third, that's where the River Hoopers just saw blood in the water and just decided to strike. And the 19-point quarter from the River Hoopers was the determining factor and the deciding factor of this game. As even despite the Douanes' last-ditch efforts to just go ahead and win this ball game, they just couldn't be able to outlast or even defend home court like that, because they had a low-scoring third quarter, and they dug themselves in a hole that they just couldn't get out. And it was always 6-7 point buffer separating the River Hoopers and the Douanes from then. So at the end of the day, when you can't be able to curtail a lead, and you're not scoring the 3 ball, and you're not shooting the 3 ball at an efficient clip, that lead will not go away. Because had the Douanes been able to shoot at least at a decent clip from three, especially when you talk when you say about 35 to at least 40%. This game would have gone either way, but because both teams really struggled shooting the ball from downtown, they really relied on just doing long twos and just driving up to the basket. Even this is the same case I saw in the APR versus US Monastir team game, because the BAL teams are really struggling to get it together from downtown. But given that whole situation, and also AS Douanes committing a lot of fouls on the River Hoopers and sending the River Hoopers to the line, that was the reason as to why there was that buffer there. But with those things also in play, you could see, giving credit to the River Hoopers, the way they came in and played, they did not relent and did not shy away from that, because even despite not even being able to have even good bench production, because the River Hoopers, they only scored 7 points. They had 7 points from the bench compared to AS Douanes 21, and they also trailed in second chance points to the AS Douanes team. The River Hoopers had 8 second chance points to the AS Douanes 9, and also fast break points, something that I was really closely monitoring, because majority of African teams capitalize heavily on fast break points, transition points. You could see the AS Douanes team was superior at that with 18 points to River Hoopers 14. But you can see the stats that even surprised me was the fact that despite the River Hoopers winning, they led the game with 14 turnovers. So the turnover bug still was there, but because the AS Douanes team were just not able to get it together and scoring-wise, the River Hoopers were able to get away with it. But overall, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I watched it live. The game was live on YouTube, the BL, or in NBA.com. Make sure to check them out from them highlights, and also the game highlights are also available. So it was a good way to start the BAL, because having these teams just go at it against each other is something that I find exciting. And the Sahara Conference just came a week later after we just finished covering the Nile Conference. So expect more of these videos to come, and I'm just going to be covering every single game as I just mentioned earlier in previous videos. So yeah, so if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments what you think about this, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.